Hey, thanks for joining me today. You're listening to The Sit Down with Roman Gray. Money and success. Two of the most infamous words here in America. Fear and greed also go hand in hand with money and success. These two words, money and success, are used as measurements for a sense of self-worth and accomplishments. We view them as being interlinked rather than just by themselves. But it's not so much the actual things themselves, money and success, that are the problem. It's what's lying underneath it that's the problem. It's our culture. It's how we're brought up and taught to think and feel about it. That's the real problem. That's the real struggle. That's the real burden. Sometimes it reminds me of the board game Sorry, right? We get so amped up just to get ahead of the other person or people by means of knocking them down and setting them back and say sorry, even though we don't really mean it. And then we think to ourselves, it's the way it goes, whether in the game or life. But life most of the time feels like the game. There's an underlying theme for these two factors in life that I've been trying to explore a lot. What I believe these themes to be, at least to me, when it comes to money, I'm sure most of our minds tend to jump to either of two sides. A, it gets us thinking about how we don't have enough and how we need to make more to feel secure. Or B, we just don't want to think about it because it makes us feel some type of way. It's unfortunate. I found it interesting when I found myself really trying to explore what are our values underneath the money. What is our association with money in America? What used to be looked at as a means of living is now looked at as something to grossly want. This deep obsession with wanting to acquire insane amounts of money, people are not necessarily wrong for that. With the disparity between rich and poor ever widening, it makes sense why so many of us are so hungry for that money. Because we know what it's like to starve without it. But with all these influencers and wannabe rich people, it feels like it's causing something worse. When it came to finding an answer for what was underneath the money, I found my answer in one word. I found the answer to be proof. Think about it. Money to Americans is more than just a signifier of buying power. It shows the world how well we're doing, our position of power. It tells us that we're good enough and have some sense of value in this world. Plain and simple. Money is a scorecard, and the more we keep playing with it like it's a game, then the more we gamble with our happiness. And anytime people tend to gamble on games, there are more losers than there are winners. When it comes to success, money's intertwined with it as well. In fact, many people will argue that there's no difference between the two, that money is success and success equals money. I have a strong dislike for those people. I don't believe those two should have any correlation. We base success on work and money, but no one seems to be addressing the fact that money does not equal happiness, and success can also not equal happiness. My observation of this is far from revolutionary, but there's definitely not enough people who have this type of conversation in life. And I just kind of want to open up that dialogue. We just keep adhering to these very American ideals as if that's life. When we talk to people, the first thing we typically ask is, what do you do? And I've grown to hate that a lot. Why? Because what they're really asking is, how successful are you? That question is used as an indicator to gauge how much respect you deserve. It's used as a rank to see where you land on the societal ladder. The myth of success runs rampant throughout nations. The big house, nice car, fancy things, nice family, a lot of money. It seems to be the equation we're told that equals success. But as I've gotten older, and I believe that most people come to realize this as well, which is we all have different definitions of success. And that's perfectly fine. The idea of success that you have isn't necessarily what I want. And we should honor that more. Success is one of the many things that is hard to measure because everyone has different ways of measuring it. There is no one size fits all when it comes to success. It's unhealthy to measure your progress in life by assessing your net worth and the zeros in your bank account. The obsession with achieving things just to show people that we quote unquote made it. We buy things with money we don't have to impress people we don't know, to show off what we don't believe in. It almost sounds like it should be a bad lie, but it's something people do all the time. We live in a world where even those with huge social media followings are considered successful. We don't look behind the curtain enough to really see what's going on. I think most people don't know their own definition of success, and instead just know society's definition of success. We chase after the beliefs of other people rather than our own. I think so much of life has to do with learning that, and then shortly afterward, dismantling it. To those who are still listening, then thanks. This is my perspective on money and success here in America. Obviously, we all have different interpretations of it, but I hope you at least got something out of it. And now, I'm going to finish this topic with something I wrote quite some time ago. I feel like it can relate to this episode in some way or another. So here it goes. I will no longer buy into the lie that is your dream. It was like I was on this never-ending road. Even though I felt it was best to double back, I kept listening to the signs posted along the way. And at some point, I realized something. I was simply following what was being put in front of me. I never allowed myself to truly think, for I was too afraid of what could happen if I didn't remain steadfast in that direction. I soon let fear rush over me and take hold. I allowed myself to become disillusioned of possibility. I eventually pushed through that breaking point, and it allowed me perceptual detachment. I was not the thousands of miles that were behind me, nor was I just another person aimlessly roaming. I am my own individual, and I thought, what else have I been missing? Even though to onlookers, it may have seemed I was veering off the path, I was in fact truly discovering who I am. So no, I will no longer buy into the lie that is your dream.